Me say wo met my papa $500. I'm here we free. But what time did you Jonas?
Avutu ne me.
We say we nyini nche.
Mate. For more biara kwa ba emra OJB Media TV so emra mba be kasa fa Twene Jonas video bi a eye papa bi akọ video nu ebo ne ntene se na no ya asama ode adu sebi asante hene ne Ghana mpanifo so se wanhwe ya obebo obi just $500 na mpakro yi na free ho no no ye kwakọ se video na enne eye abrante bi so e friend Kelvin ono so New York ho no wono so aba be kasa se papa no sebi wanye gya na adwen ai Osesa nka brabo ye bona anka sebi onte New York won mu abra wodi 65 years anka waba Ghana aba home senka Ghana de se na Twene Jonas e kan na anka waba eba home papa no ohwe yie anya sa ono Kelvin Taylor no ma papa no so ani nye e wo New York won mu esanse o taxi driver de o hwe nye din wa hwe papa na hwe ya abema chese ya bono krampo de na ye de na ba Ghana hanu Kelvin Taylor kan se mebre edu ba bi na ne boafu na ono so de na dane de atam nsema o de ma papa no ye ko de video na Kelvin Taylor asosi papa no so mra.
I'm going to show you a video of a man who basically approached Twene Jonas and a 65-year-old man Ghanaian, and the kind of words he free in the mobile. So we are going to take action. Also a taxi driver in New York City. I go to New York City a lot. I pick a lot of taxis. And I don't want to end up in a taxi somebody who openly on camera says, "Obe to me, Abba pa am kubi." It is a dangerous statement, and we will take it up. With all due respect, Twene Jonas can decide not to act. It is his own decision, and I don't have a problem with him. But as I live in America, people like that are not supposed to be on the streets, especially people like that who drive taxis. They're dangerous. So we have taken it upon ourselves to reach out to the taxi union of this New York. We are going to write official statement for this man to be taken off taxi. He should not be able to drive taxi, and some rules are supposed to apply. That's what I'm saying. Say, Twene Jonas is a different individual. He can decide to take action or decide not to take action. That one, it is decision. But as far as I live in America, I will make sure that this old man who is 65 years, a Ghanaian living in America. Now let's listen to this man and the words that came out of his mouth. Also a taxi driver. So we are taking it upon ourselves for people like that to be taken off the streets. Taxi no or say a unified taxi. Sir, in summer or can we have to make sure such a person is not walking on the streets of New York. I've lived in New York before for about 7 years, and I know what I'm talking about. This is the old man and Twene Jonas.
Jonas, me say wo met my papa $500. I'm here we free.
But the problem is that Mate. Yeah.
When what time did you Jonas?
Avutu ne me.
We say we nyini nche.
Mate. Me da.
Me bo bi o. Me ba. We hear the too much. Yo. Se me ma ye bone a. Ka kire me papa ananua adio wo ye we. Ye tebo akodi disante hina tem. Se ko siampanyu.
Everyone boys there the TV fra. Everyone say bloggers na omo paid omo.
Now, I just want to say this. Even in America, and with all due respect, I am not going to defend Twene Jonas on his statement or his remarks. No, because nobody should defend me on my statement or my remarks. Twene Jonas, he knows what he's doing. He's not a kid. He lives in America. He pays his own bills. He takes care of his own business. His remarks are his remarks. He has the right to defend his remarks. You get what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and defend Twene Jonas what he has to say or what he doesn't have to say. He's a grown-ass man. He knows his decisions. Now, for this man to make it look like, say, one or no, because you see, you might think the statement he made, a vague statement. It is not. Say, met my bopa $500. Emma ubi eteki life. Na menye that statement, you can go to court. You will have to defend yourself. Now, my issue now is for a 65-year-old man, or a Ghanaian. Say our problem with Twene Jonas words are here. That is his own problem. But to go further to say you were a cab driver, uchi taxi. Now over to my bopa $500. That means that the probability so I be paying high. Listen to me. Say utumika say ubetuma bo pa $500 emyoku Twene Jonas ato atwene a na wonya. It means say the probability of you why be done it is high. So it is not you justifying it because say but wonya no. If he is using words you don't like, it is your problem. In America, krampona yeti hano, we see people go after presidents, harsh words. People go after senators. People go after congressmen. Nobody has been able to stand on the streets of New York as a taxi driver to say, I can put $500 on your head for you to be taken care of, but I will not do it. That statement is a threat, and it's a threat to any person who sits in this man's taxi. Because it can be said one day, he will end up exchanging words with somebody in his taxi, and then he will make sure that that person is killed. The statement he made was against me, but as somebody who lives here, I think this old man who is 65 years does not deserve to be driving cab. Now, Sanka bo bra papa bi wo wiase na wotia. So obet in America no say enye brand na ediebu ebu abowa. Enye enkwasi abra na obebo ya 65 years uchi taxi wa America. 65 years. Sankanya Jimmy na obet na ha Jimmy ye na nka obo bra ye. Ena nka Ghana na wunsuro se obekwa akowu a. De na nka 65 years otna ha. Eka said yen uchi taxi a won ferry. Enye nkwasi abra na obebo ya. Enye sansa bra na obebo ya. Enye Ghana na asai na usuro se obekwa koreta wo ha. Lanka ede na at age 65. Onam New York ebragi se uya taxi driver won ferry. Are you not ashamed? Enye time. It is a Twene Jonas crampo use harsh words against leaders in Ghana. Say omuma nyoma nye ye na peyin toto jiminiti sawo. Utumi Kofi eko tena because make us say yare etuatua woto usuro se uko Ghana na watwe miensa ubewu. In your act of advising the young man, you were threatening the young man. We are going to send a formal complaint to TLC. We are going to call them tomorrow. We will add this video and let them know. And there are other platforms in New York. We are going to push this video. Put the translation on it. For people in New York to know that this man does not deserve to drive cab, taxi in New York or dangerous. He is threatening to murder somebody in a jovial way. And you see, when it comes to threat, there's no joke in threats. Anytime I start to make a will say me chum na papa we ka say Twene Jonas metum the nipa mama obia boutu because of $500, but me nya I will let the police arrest him because my life is at stake. Because of the Twene Jonas so no anya kura or the bay Obofour, and the probability say why sad no it is there. So they need to run checks on this man. I am not going to hold brief for Twene Jonas. What he does a Nkansah decision. Whatever he says, he's a grown-ass man. He's over 18 years. I am also a grown man. I am 18 and over. So I can defend my utterances. And so as he. But for this old man at age 65, for you to stand in front of a police station to tell another person living on this soil, say you can just put $500 on his head into Ochina. Nyamin pengu. Na Twene Jonas, Bibiatona, you are a prime suspect. You have to rot in jail and die. You have to be taken to court. You need to be jailed. Now, Mr. S, get me the screenshot of his face. And I'm going to send this message. And this is something that we need to be doing often. And this man, and like I started saying, Twene Jonas can decide not to take any action. I respect his decision. But as I live on this land and I do business in New York, I'll take action. And I'll have to make sure TLC, the taxi union of New York, they call this man and tell him not to sit behind any steer as a commercial driver or a dangerous to every American citizen. Because the utterances alone, the probability it is high. Antwi, Mr. S, get me a screenshot of his face. I think I have it, Mr. S. Mr. S, don't worry, I have it. Now, this man, I don't know his name, but I know by tomorrow we will get his full name. We will get his address. I know we will be able to pull out where he lives. We will let everybody know where he lives and the kind of person he is. We know we are going to get a lot of people showing information about this man. The authorities to deal with him. This man is a dangerous man on the streets of New York. And if you know any friend in New York who is a taxi cab, anybody who basically picks taxis a lot in New York, I have a lot of friends who basically park their cars and commute with taxis. If you know anyone on the streets of New York who basically purchases taxis a lot, you need to understand this man is a taxi cab driver. He's 65 years old, a Ghanaian living here. I don't know whether he's a citizen. He basically is threatening another Ghanaian on the streets of New York that he can just put a $500 bounty on his head and he'll be taken off the streets. This man is dangerous to every American. And the TLC needs to know that when people like these, the kind of intentions and the kind of utterances they make, people like these are not supposed to be aligned or associated with the New York Taxi Association. So if you live in New York, if you are a friend to anybody who is a taxi driver, this gentleman has to be taken off the street. He does not have to be a cab driver in New York City. We are going to officially send an email to make sure he's taken off the streets of New York. This guy sounds like a psychopath. You might think he's joking. He isn't. And he has put every single American's life at risk. He just told this man he can spend just $500 for him to be taken off the street. Technically, for him to be killed. All because he does not support the kind of language he uses against the leadership in Ghana. The gentleman has the right to speak his mind. This is America. He has the right to free speech. So for another person living on this land to walk to him, to make such a statement, it is not just against the young man, but it is against every single American who bought taxi in New York City. So we will make sure this man is taken off the streets of New York. He never gets a commercial license to drive taxi in New York City.
It's for video ne kokko he ba and papa no so wa gene dia papa wo ye Kelvin Taylor smart mu se Kelvin Taylor so aba be kasa wa ni ble so e de kira pan se onya se hu na wodi no nya sem se bi kwasi asem na wo ke kan no de kira abofra no o ma ne ti ase se asem ni de bia wo kan sa keke ba e ye threat isa so we betimi afa so aye Twene Jonas ni bibi na wa wo ko kan sa keke na wo didi agro na o why de be abasem edu ba bia ya no kasa no e ya na ekura tumi ntino ye kasana se ya hwe ni ye betimi akopass mama ye sa na Kelvin Taylor e ka de so bi so fo meda was say be ni abribia no OJB Media ye de video tuma awokeka ne ni je ya o de hwe na ya na ye ni so be so say o be subscribe to my YouTube channel no and then the first day I will share na why ye sa so e de amami if you comment our comment section I say you be say share bi mdi no OJB makra